This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to Digital Perspectives, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen. Don't forget, monthly newsletter is going to be coming out, I think, early next week, maybe even tomorrow, but certainly by early next week. There will be an exclusive interview with Diana Adachi for you guys to listen to. It is amazing. Diana Adachi, formerly of Accenture, did the due diligence on Ripple when they were first on the scene, and also works with Greg Kidd at Hard Yaka and Yaka Labs. So pretty remarkable interview, and the things that she has to say about what she sees to come for the crypto space and Ripple XRP. And I think you will be astounded to hear her thoughts. So make sure you get on that monthly newsletter. By the way, educational courses are really selling well. It's a really, really affordable price, guys. $37 to round out your education in this space, or to just get yourself aligned with where everything is right now currently in the market. If you're new to the space, don't hesitate to check out that course. Today's numbers are brought to you by PureVPN. Guys, PureVPN. Protect your anonymity online. I've never felt so safe since I got PureVPN for my computer. Protect your holdings, protect your anonymity online. It is one of the safest things I've done, and I'm so glad that I did. Let's look at the numbers right now, and I have a link in the description for all of these things. You'll see them, or the comment box. $11,784.84 for Bitcoin. Ethereum, $422.01. XRP currently right now 29 cents. Let's drill down on the number. 0.2966 is where we're sitting this morning, 29 cents. 2.6 billion on a 24-hour volume. We're down 0.1%, and the total circulating supply remains at 44,918 million plus. Those are your numbers. Now, really exciting stuff today in this video, guys, because I think we are going to break some news about Ripple and some things that they're doing, and I think it really points to the narrative of where I want to go today. Before we do that, though, I want to shout out to Mickey B. Fresh, who makes a great post here yesterday, and he says, move over Chainlink, factual hard proof that Codius has been rebooted with numerous additional use cases for XRP and Interledger. Ripple and PolySign have always been focused on the enormous potential that Smart Oracle Network have. They flat out say real estate tokenization. Check these little slides out here. TrustLayer of the world, Oracles.Cloud. Cloud oracles provide secure data into blockchain that cannot be accessed by blockchain itself. Oracles give smart contracts secure and reliable access to data, and Oracle is a digital agent employed by a smart contract to retrieve and connect data systems outside its native blockchain. Oracles for any type of signals. Then he puts this up. SMS payments globally using Interledger over SMS. That's massive. Stream payment. JavaScript API which allows stream micropayments in real time using the Oracle Interledger protocol. Come on in, Mickey B. Fresh. Yeah, let's keep it going. Look at this one. Security and real estate tokenization. Real estate has always been a prime candidate for tokenization. Deals are slow moving with a small number of participants. Secondary trading of fractional ownership is sparse or non-existent, and expensive capital distributions occur often. Real estate oracles provide the blockchain technology over XRP Interledger protocol that makes it easy to create, distribute, and manage security estate tokens. That's right, Interledger protocol. The Internet of Value distributed ledger technology can be used to represent the supranational digital liquidity of all assets, including real estate, stocks, and derivatives. Our mission is to build supports for the global standard for institutional digital asset custody, release the full spectrum of digital assets, and is designed to scale to trillions under management. Where we heard that before? Wow. Mickey B. Fresh, straight fire. straight fire, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, knowing that that is where the future lies for where we're going, let's go ahead and get into this, because I want to talk today about how we are really starting to see, leaders in the traditional markets really position themselves for investing into crypto. And the main angle they're taking these days, because of the current economic situation, is pointing to digital assets as a safe harbor, just as you hear people discuss about precious metals. And I think that is just a remarkable position, or pivot, if you will, from some of these traditional investors and CEOs like George Ball. Now, we're going to hear George Ball talk about what his thoughts are on Bitcoin in just a second here, and the current situation of the economy. But before we do, the reason I wanted to lay this video out today was because you guys have heard me say the dot-com era of crypto has begun. We are moving into that moment. And I want to just play a really quick, learner video here, explainer video. It's only 1 minute, and it just talks about the dot-com era. And I want you to have this in mind as we move through this material, and then look at some things that are actually brand new about Ripple. It's pretty remarkable. So we're going to check that out here. So let's listen to this.
The dot-com bubble started around 1997, peaked in 2000, and ultimately burst by 2002. As the name suggests, the bubble revolved around speculative investments in internet companies. Simply put, investors were so excited about the progress of the internet that they invested in pretty much any tech company with a pulse. They stopped caring about whether or not a company was profitable, or at least could eventually become profitable. Common sense became a rarity. From 1997 to March 2000, prices went up about 5 times, only to go down 5 times and return to their pre-boom levels from 2000 to 2002. A drop which was also exacerbated by the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. Only 1 out of 2 internet companies survived, with businesses such as Pets.com going from a market capitalization of over $300 million to zero within just 268 days. There are, however, also success stories such as Amazon, which went from around $100 during the bubble peak all the way down to $7 after it burst, but then climbed back up to over $600 per share. The conclusion is simple. Like any other mania, the dot-com bubble is a fascinating human nature lesson.
And there it is, and there you have it. And now we're going to listen to George Ball. And I want to remind people that the dot-com era, the dot-com bubble, rather, is created by the stock market, not the technology. The technology and the business structure and the application of that technology is why the Amazon is still here today. The technology of Google and getting that business structure and model right is why they're here today. The bubble itself is created by the stock market. If you notice in the early part of that explainer video, they talk about, investing into companies in such a rush that they started to ignore good common sense. Where was the use case? What problem was that business going to solve? This new dot-com business, right? The same question should be asked by us today, because the new watermark is use case utility. It really always has been, but up until now, it's been widely just a speculative market. But the reality is seeing the OCC position themselves to clearly suggest that cryptos are going to be adopted very widely where they are applicable and where they have use case. Ripple's made it very clear that the dollar's not going anywhere, and it's not. So I think in this moment that we're in, we're so fortunate to be here this early. I know it's frustrating. We all want when moon, right? I want it too. But I'm more grateful for the fact that I'm actually here and that I've been able to do the things that I've done since I've been here. And that is what I try to focus on when I start to get frustrated to want to see things happen. However, I think things can move very swiftly when we see a more detailed federal charter released in the fall by the OCC. But one thing's for sure, it is not going away, and full-scale adoption is on its way. And in doing so, in moving into that time, I truly believe now is the time we're about to see the Coinbases, the Ripples, and everyone else in the world begin to IPO. At some point, that moment is about to kick off. Now, let's listen to what George Ball says here in response to the markets and what he thinks about Bitcoin.
So what's going to happen that changes? I think that both traders and investors are going to worry about what happens when you can't kick the can down the road in terms of stimulus or subsidizing people any longer. And the approach of the end of that road is going to be a lot closer by the fourth quarter than it is now. And therefore, both traders and investors should and probably will realign their portfolios substantially.
Now listen to this next question. Listen what he's telling you. Investors and traders see the nightmare coming, and it's the kind that you cannot continue to avoid.
Well, George, what assets should investors get into, say, outside of equities?
I've never said this before, and I've always been a blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin opponent. But if you look right now, the government can't stimulate the markets forever. The liquidity flood will end. And sooner or later, the government's got to start paying for some of the stimulus, for some of the deficits, for some of the well-deserved, very smart subsidies that it's providing to people. Are they going to raise taxes that high? Or if not, are they going to print money? If they print money, that debases the currency. And probably even things like TIPS, Treasury Inflation Protected Securities, can be corrupted. So the very wealthy investor or the trader probably turns to Bitcoin or something like it as a staple.
Wow.
And how about that? And there you have it. George Ball confessing and professing that there's going to be a safe harbor, really, where people take position into something like digital assets like Bitcoin or something like it, because they realize that this is all manufactured, this market, the printing of the money. He lays it out exactly the way it is. So when we're thinking, and when you hear me say that we're moving into the .com era for crypto, it's, to me, in my mind, it is accelerated by the fact that we are in a liquidity crisis and a pandemic. It's going to erupt. In my mind, I see when these companies begin to IPO, it is going to erupt, just as Chris Larson says, in a Cambrian explosion. It really will be this unbelievable moment happening over a period of 2-3 years. I know the .com era was between 2 to 5 years. However you look at that moment, I think easily we could see that, and it could dwarf the .com era because of what people are feeling, the hurt in the traditional markets where they are right now. Okay. Now, with that being said, we're already starting to see the CME rises in Bitcoin futures rankings as institutional interest grows. Well, this is exactly what he's talking about when he's saying the things that he's saying, right? Institutions already get it, and they're moving in. And it's hard for you to see them move in, but they're moving in a very big way. We also know that Grayscale Investment Fund just had one of its biggest fundraising moments because they've just gone to mainstream media advertising for the first time in the history of the crypto space. mainstream media advertising for cryptocurrency investment funds. It's only getting bigger. And you'll see that too because of the efforts that Ripple are taking here in just a second that have just recently happened. Now, in this moment, you have to ask yourself during an explosion, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your portfolio and your investment when it starts out and you're 1 cent? And then a little later, it's 29 cents. Or a little later, and it's 91 cents. Or $9 and then back to $3. And then it goes to 6 cents again. And then at 11, $2.64. And then up a little bit in November. Let's just skip ahead a little bit. What are you going to do when it's a year later and it's $31 or $51 a month later? What are you going to do when it jumps to $110 or $144 and 13? I'm following Bitcoin, but ask yourself, superimpose these numbers over top of your investment in XRP or any other coin. What are you going to do? $133. What are you going to do when it's 137, right? What are you going to do when it jumps a year later to $615, right? Or and in fact, what are you going to do when it does this to you? It goes to $1,129 and then back to $760 and $818. Are you going to panic sell when it drops from $1,100 back to $500 and $400? Oh my. What is everyone going to do then? You know, these moments are going to happen quickly, and it's going to move so fast, and there'll be so much news happening. The price may go up and then fluctuate and pull back. It may do all of these things. And I'm not just talking about XRP. We're all invested in a lot of things in this space. This could be applicable to whatever your position is in something. What are you going to do when these numbers start rolling in like this? You taking all of your investment, 20%, 10%? Or are you just holding and riding through it like a champion, right? That's the question. And where do you go? Ask yourself these things now. Answer these. Resolve yourself to know these answers ahead of time. Have a plan and be ready to put the plan in action, and know what you want to accomplish from your investments. And I don't mean as a general term, well, I just want to get rich. You have to have a plan. You have to have something in place that says, you know, at this price point, I'm taking 10% of my investment, or I'm in 100% until I reach this point, right? And then what's going to happen? Ask yourself, what would you do when you see these numbers in front of you? That's the thing. Now, with that being said, we know that Brad Garlinghouse has made it very clear that XRP can solve a $10 trillion problem. A $10 trillion problem. By the way, this is the same article too where I believe he misspoke or it was misquoted, whatever it was. It's 2 million in volume to date, not 2 billion, I believe is the mistake that was made in the article. But nevertheless, the $10 trillion problem that XRP can solve is very real. And that's what you need to focus on, because that's what they're focused on. And I'm about to prove it to you right now. Ripple IPO watch. Look here. We don't see anything submitted for the S1 filing or the prospectus, right? Which doesn't mean that they're not in the works to do so. But let me tell you what we do see. New trademark filings. RippleNet trademark filed and RippleX both filed on August 11th. Right here. And we know what RippleNet is, but what in the world is RippleX? Well, you're about to find out. RippleX is Ripple Ventures. This is remarkable. Ripple Ventures, operators first. We're an early stage venture fund that works alongside startups through the good and the bad every day. Now, this shows here some of the places it's been featured, but this is relatively new here. And I'm going to go through and show you the team. Our partners and advisors have successfully built, managed, sold their own companies. Ripple offers a distinct edge in navigating the investment landscape while trying to help grow businesses and revolutionize various industries. Name me one other company in this space that is playing the long game the way Ripple is. Just one. I'll wait. The reality here is that Ripple has such a vision of what needs to take place in this space. And I find it to be no surprise that, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, both coming from the early internet days, understand exactly what is happening here. And that's how they get such a rich, deep vision about what needs to take place in this space, and about how they have the courage to invest in it and to play the long game and to watch other assets take off and go to 15, 16 bucks or what have you, knowing full well that what they're doing is for longevity in this space, to be the new Amazon of the crypto world. And it won't be just about books at the end of the day, I can bet you that. All right, so we look at the Ripple team. Here's some of the players here that are leading the students that will be a part of this. Matt Cohen, Michael Garbe, Dominic Lau, Josh Garb, just to name a few. And it's a deep team here. Now look, what this is really about investing into young minds that want to be venture capitalists, that are interested in growing and starting their own businesses. This is remarkable here. I mean, when you look at what they're doing, this is all about being able to fund early startups, things of that nature. This is about working with different, it's courses. It's an entire course that you could take, right? So this is pretty remarkable. Let me just go through here. Tech Partner Programs, RippleX Fellowship. Let me go right here. Helping build the next generation of venture capitalists and founders. That's remarkable. Look at this. Then let's go to our edge. Our team has operating experience that is looking to make tangible value creation with companies that we invest in. We are looking for experienced teams solving a large problem that we can help get to the next level. Who else is doing this? I mean, this is just remarkable. Ripple Ventures brought a surge of energy to our company. Today we started working with them. They are fully aligned with our vision and provide us with the value on a daily basis through an impressive network and breadth of expertise in scaling a company. I mean, this is just, to me, I mean, this, if you ever want, when I'm looking for something to invest in, and it's not financial advice, but I am sharing with you that it absolutely, for me, this is the kind of fundamental stuff I want to see from a company, right? This is what I want to see right here. How they are constantly positioning themselves to be able to elevate the next layer that needs to take place for development in the entire crypto space. It is just remarkable. It really, really is remarkable what they're doing. So when I look at what's going on at this moment, and I see that we are moving into what I really do believe is the next Dotcom era, but for crypto, I look and see Ripple as clear, far and away the winner. It is the standout. And it's because of things like this that they're doing. It's not just about the XRP token. It's really about the ledger. It's really about addressing the fragmentation of a new emerging market and finding the venture capitalists, the young venture capitalists, or the young developers, right? Innovators in this space, and bringing them in and allowing them to cultivate their own ideas on their network. And that is absolutely remarkable. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Ripple Ventures, RippleX. This is great. I love seeing it. And if you haven't seen it before, you see it now. Ripple is absolutely at the forefront of helping build out this entire crypto space, which we'll all, I think, benefit from in the end. That's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment, and share with somebody you know. I'll catch all of you on the next one.